All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Motus Prodcast. This is almost certainly going to be a weird one and probably a long one, so settle in because it's going to get funky.
And also, if you're wondering, this is filmed... fucking always say filmed. This is recorded the day after the one that was aired last week, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So I still sound exactly the same and bunged up.
We recorded it... you just told... Yeah.
You just shut up.
Yeah. Go and listen to last week's one, which is a bit ropey. This one's going to fucking make up for that. That little weird squeak was
me. He has spoken.
That was our guest.
I am here.
Joseph Marx, who we did announce last week. Turned up on the train with a few ciders.
Yep, ready.
Although it was I won't say what time it is. I won't make people judge you. But, the sun hadn't risen yet. How you doing?
Good.
We've had minimal conversation since he arrived to try and save it all for the podcast. So
You got a treat.
Very hard.
We got a
Some
treat.
stories coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mark's excited to hear stories and we're excited to ask questions. So, let's get the bullshit out of the way with. Are you Karl Marx's great-grandson?
No.
No. Good. Yeah.
I like to go with it.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to...
It worked.
You're not going to stop it if the train starts running and you start getting the views.
Wait, was it you who... Because I kind of like forgotten how it all happened. Was it you who put that on the internet, or did someone share it? Did someone share it seriously, or were they like...
No, so
as a joke?
one of my close friends got his sister to do an article on when I went homeless. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that for charity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just, he told her that I was related.
Really?
And so she used that, believing it completely, and then put that online.
And that's the only piece of writing there is about that.
Yeah,
right?
and it's in a newspaper, and it's online by a credible, what you'd think is a credible source.
Yeah.
And so if you just search my name, that comes up straight away.
And Karl Marx's grandson.
Yeah. And then it was
Great-grandson.
this April Fool's that somebody fucking... No, was it... I can't remember what it was. There was some great-granddaughter of a different dictator did something on social media, and they were like, oh, while she's doing this, Karl Marx's grandson's doing fucking parkour.
Backflipped outside McDonald's.
And then you just exploded.
Oh, wow.
As the internet seems to happen.
That's so sick. Did you manage to, you caught onto that and you were like, fuck it, I'm going to share it around,
Well, that's why this video
I really didn't catch on to it at all, really. I just get random messages sometimes about... Oh, you related to Karl Marx? Please tell me. I want to talk to you. It's like, if you could do parkour, can you overcome the bourgeoisie?
Do you reply to them like, no?
No, I'm just
leave it.
sometimes I'm like, stop. I am not related.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
I just leave it on red and just so they still have to.
I've gone with it sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, other bullshit. When did you start parkour? How did you get into it?
Oh,
The classic kind of just yeah.
I had a friend I made a friend in secondary school. And he saw me jumping around doing parkour, and I didn't know it was parkour. I was just jumping around, running up walls.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me, and he's Russian, and he goes, "You're doing this thing called parkour." And I was like, what the hell's that? And then he showed me a video, and I still remember till this day, it's the Oleg video.
Yeah.
That's so
And he had
sick.
it on his phone, and he was saying that he trains with Oleg, and...
Oh,
yeah.
What year was this?
2009.
Wow, and you're how old?
24.
24.
Yeah.
Wait, so you got into it 2009, so that was World Free Run Championships around that time.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't. So I just assumed you got into it Jump Britain.
No,
So
not
yeah, a
true.
little bit
I
later.
didn't either.
Interesting.
But I'm a young'un, I guess.
A young'un.
Yeah, that's interesting. What age were you then? If it was 2009.
Quick maths.
Quick maths. I don't know.
Wait.
24.
I'm lost. Help!
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Well, if you're 24, then you're 14. Yeah, that's
14.
easy. Yeah.
All three of us. I took that.
In my head, I just assumed you were a Jump Britain kid.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
But so you've always where have you lived in London?
Kingston.
Kingston, and you've ever since I can remember, you've always been just a London scene guy.
Yeah.
I don't really remember when I first saw or met you, but you've just always been about.
I've seen you pop up in, I think it might have been some of the old, either Prodigy of Movement videos or Cock Parkour. So,
I used
sometimes
to know
I'd see you.
quite well, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
used
really
to go
cool.
up and train every Saturday with them
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
The Saturday thing.
That's the
I feel
Saturday
like the
jam.
community might have been a lot Not a lot bigger, because there's still loads of kids.
I think it was a little bit
nowadays.
more consistent.
Yeah, it was more of a family as well. We had like a routine where we start IMAX at 11 o'clock. Like, some people didn't have phones, so you would have to be there on time.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
And then we'd go from there to all the spots along that don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And then
All
end
the
at
way-
Vauxhall.
Yeah,
Wait,
Junkie
not
Jungle.
another non-existent.
Yeah.
Junkie's Jungle, Vauxhall.
Get to
never got to
Vauxhall
train
and
there.
everyone's dead because they're just eating sugar.
Yeah. And cans of nourishment.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, I mean, you've always been about, and I feel like you've always had quite an individual style. Like, I don't think there's a time where I've ever like seen you and just been like, oh, he's just like a standard parkour guy. Like, you always kind of had your little twist on things.
Well, from when I started, when I heard from that Russian friend,
Yeah.
I just immediately wanted to create a new trick that no one had done.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at all the videos he shows me, and I was just like, I want to be the guy who makes a new move. And I would just go out and train to try and make new moves and not train the existing moves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'd just do all these
That's
weird
cool.
things. And then I realised that I can combine 2 existing moves
To make-
a new move. But then I found every time I made a new move, I was like, oh, wait, that's already been done.
Yeah.
And that was kind
But
of
in
my
your head,
drive
you
when I
hadn't
was
seen
younger.
it.
Yeah.
Done yet, right?
And
Yeah.
why did you
Yeah,
want to do
fucking
new
cool.
things? Just to like...
I don't know, I just... A bit of an outcast. I wanted to just have some credibility in it. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool. I remember watching so many videos of you that were like at not spots. They just weren't spots.
Yeah.
It'd be like just a wall and maybe
Yeah.
a tiny bit, like a little block or something. And there it will always be fucking
Like-
like mad runs.
There's that spot in Kingston that you always used to train at, which was like the rail and then the wall, and there was like
Yeah.
a big drop on the other side of it. And I went there just like, I was going to a gig and I like walked past it. I was like, this is the spot. And it is literally a rail and a wall. and
That's
you
it.
fucking put so much stuff there, like crazy creative runs.
Well, I think it just could last forever, that spot. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
any spot can. You just have to keep looking
Yeah, you got to
from a
change
different
your
route.
Did you ever
Yeah.
used to invent like new things and think for like a period of time that they were fucking sick, and then look back and be like, that was just like me doing some gimmicky? Like,
Oh, sometimes it still happens. I'll be doing a move that I think is new and a new style of movement, and then I'll look at it on record and I'm like, what the hell am I doing rolling around sideways? What am I doing? Sometimes I still go back sometimes into my old posts. I'm like, oh man, I haven't done that in ages.
yeah.
You
That-
want to do it again.
I could still do it now, but yeah.
I think you just always have had a way of like looking at kind of an area, and you can because you can do all the fucking obvious stuff and you can do it really well, but like you'll do the obvious bits and then you'll just be like, what about if I do this fucking 3-step tic tac into this
Well,
thing off of that, like
I think
that's
that's another reason why I did the creative stuff, because sometimes I couldn't do a lot of the things that people could do. I have the illusion, a lot of freerunners do, they have the illusion that they can do most of the tricks,
Yeah.
but I would cover that up with stuff that I am good at, and like
yeah.
I would make my own way of doing it.
But I think
That's sick.
fundamentally, like fundamental parkour, you've covered all the bases, like.
Over time we get there a bit. Yeah.
But so that wasn't like, you weren't like, oh, I need to go and learn double cat pass, this.
Well, although when I met the London lot, they just did parkour, like
Yeah.
not much
Yeah.
flips. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely were like heavy on the flips early on.
As soon as I saw that, and like that influenced me, I was like, well, I wanted to fit in with them. So all I did was train jumps and kongs for like a year or two,
Yeah.
and I just didn't do any flips, even though I really like
Yeah.
doing flips and creative stuff. I just stuck to try and get really good at double kongs, like
Because that was
concretes,
just, that's the fucking
because that
IMAX,
was what
like-
was popular.
But
Yeah.
was there a point in time where you realised you were enjoying jumps a lot more than you thought?
Yeah,
'Cause
once
you
I
have
got
done some ridiculous.
once I
proper
got quite
parkours.
like good at it, it felt better.
Yeah. Because there is that satisfaction. Because I really like building a creative run, but sometimes when you get like a challenge that's proper like parkour based, if
Yeah.
it takes like a while to get, it's a lot.
Oh
more
no,
like,
some of my
Yes!
like favorite runs have been mostly just jumps.
Yeah.
And it would take me like 40 tries to do it, and by the end I'm sweating, fainting.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, that was the best.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool.
I mean, we got it slightly further down, but like, yeah, so you had this like creative style, and then I feel like the last few years, I mean, as we just said, you've always done like, you've always mixed the sort of foundation level movement, but foundation, fundamental, whatever we call them.
fundamental.
But the last few years, you've got like immensely strong, and has that like been conscious? I mean, assuming it is, given benchmarks, jumps and stuff, we'll go into that in more depth. But like, did you just get stronger because you got more mature, like puberty and all that? Or were you like, I'm going to get fucking hench?
I really don't know where it happened, but I started going to the gym, as a lot of guys, young guys do.
Yeah.
And I
Bicep
don't know
curls
if it's
fucking
because of...
every day.
And I remember I did like... I was trying to get big and strong, like looking good.
Yeah.
And I would just do upper body, and I would hardly have any time to train because I was trying so hard to like have this complex where I want to be a big man.
Yeah.
And then I went to like a jam, and I was doing the second pillar IMAX pre, if anyone knows that, and I just floated it. And Kai was there, and he was like, have you been going to the gym? And I was like, I only do upper body. He was confused, I was confused. But then I was trying to put it together. I was like, maybe there's more to it than just legs, like jumping.
Oh, I mean, there's a huge amount of like your posterior chain, like your core and everything. So.
I think that actually added to my jump. Like I could jump a foot more than before I started working out.
Just from rapid biceps.
Just from doing like bicep curls and bench press.
But how old were you? Maybe also at the same time you were kind of like just maturing. Like your legs
maybe.
Was the perfect time.
But yeah, I think it's really interesting because now you are just like undeniably one of those guys who are just, it's kind of like, oh, who can do this big standing pre or this big plyo? And it's like, well, I don't know, Callum is an obvious answer. There's all the powerhouses, and you definitely sit up there with those guys.
I never think that anyone says that, but...
No, but it's definitely... I think about it when we see challenges in... Say, if we were shooting for Soul Destroy, if we spot something, we'd be like, that's for Marx.
Yeah,
like,
I might be reaching there a bit, because I think Callum probably has the biggest plyos in the fucking world, but, like, you are just a fucking... You're a powerhouse, but you're a powerhouse who also has maintained... Because some people get big and strong, and then they lose all the, like, the flow.
Yeah.
Whereas you've got this, like, fucking incredible balance of both. It's like that Seth Rugy flow with this insane power. Which is really cool.
I'm still trying to find that middle ground where, I don't know, well, last year, a year and a half ago, I was at 83 kilograms, which is the heaviest I've ever been.
Yeah.
And I was going through some sort of, like, some complex of trying to, like I said before, trying to be this big man. I started boxing, had this built-up insecurity, I think, from when I was younger. And then... I got so heavy, I was like a marshmallow. and yeah, it did add to my power, but then I was like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
It does make me feel heavy. And so I just stopped, and I went back to base level, which is like 10 kilograms lighter, and I still can jump the same distance. But I think it's definitely like added. Like I've gone up and down. I haven't found that perfect weight. Or like,
are you like really? I mean, it sounds like you can kind of put on and drop weight quite easily. Like you're just like, cool, I'm going to make this adjustment and do it.
Well, I have like when I want to do something, I just go full on.
Yeah.
That's always you.
I did the Go Mad diet. Do you know what that is?
No.
You drink a gallon of milk a day.
Oh yeah.
And because of how I am, I did it. You're supposed to only do it for a month, or if that's what people recommend. And I did it for 2 months and a half.
Fucking hell.
Drinking a gallon of milk a day, so I'd drink the big
those
4
big
pints
one.
I'll drink that before lunch.
What?
And then the rest, I think it was the rest throughout the day.
What was your skin like? Like were you just
surprisingly the same?
Really?
Wow.
I'd be fucked if I had that much dairy. Like
I took tablets to help it. I can't remember what it's called, but it helps you digest the milk.
I mean, what did it do?
It made me massive. Like I said, I gained 10 kilograms in weight.
Just on milk weight.
Yeah.
Fight milk.
And started boxing. It was weird.
Yeah.
Have you stopped boxing now?
Yeah, I like it, but it was, like I said, it was something in me that was trying to get out.
Yeah.
The demons.
Yeah.
We're kind of approaching subjects that we have got written down that come up a little bit later, but I just want to kind of go back to, you were, I mean, probably the earliest like Motus supporter in a way.
Yeah.
And then, because I basically I made 50 t-shirts for free and gave them all out, and I gave them to like bigger names than also people I thought were like doing well, and you at that time were like killing it in London, so I sent you a shirt and you fucking, I mean, probably you just didn't have any other clothes, but you just wore it fucking in every video, and I was like, this guy. And I remember saying to you, I was like, if I ever like start sponsoring athletes, I'll put you on.
Yeah.
And and then that obviously happened and Keelan came up with a funny a thought earlier regarding the dynamic.
What was that about lease?
Well, yeah, it was like
the earliest like sponsors. It was like 3 kids, and then you, who is substantially like like if you saw like lease like us 3, and then you like it was such like a difference. I was wondering how that was like for you. Because you didn't know that it was going to expand. I didn't know there was going to be more sponsors added.
You were 20, right? You must have, it was about 3-4 years ago, so you were like 20.
We were like 15, 14.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know exactly what was going through my mind, but I saw that Giles was doing something, and obviously I looked up to Giles when I was younger.
No.
Compared to a lot of people. Compared to a lot of the other people who are like, easy.
Please don't compare me in the same fucking
like
sentence as well.
You kind of stood out compared to other people, and like kind of knew there was going to go somewhere at least with it, and there was going to be some sort of like idea behind it, and like a movement behind it. And I just, as soon as you even contacted me, I think you told me to wear the t-shirt, or you were going to give me the t-shirt to wear at a jam.
That was it, because I made those t-shirts, and then I went on the first Off the Edge tour, the European one.
Yeah.
And then there was the London jam, and you came back. And I remember Jesse was fucking stoked to meet you.
Yeah, when you told me that, my mind was blown.
Yeah. He was like a huge fan of your shit. So
that was before I knew you, because I think I was at that jam as well.
Yeah, you were at that jam,
Because I was wearing a Motus t-shirt too, and it was only us 2 who had them on.
Yeah, because I'd given you one.
It was the same type of one that,
Yeah, so I'd given you one at the
in
gym.
my head, like, us 2 were the only people I like knew who were rapping Motus, which is kind of cool.
And I heard you speaking about it really passionately back in the day when we would walk between spots, and just I think it really, like, I don't know, I was just standing behind you like a bit of a and I would just hear you talking about where you want it to go, and like obviously I trained for ages, and I was waiting for that big like push forward, maybe a bit of recognition, be part of something. And so I just, every time I trained, I like, why not stick the t-shirt on and be part of that? And link myself to someone who had success already in parkour. That's kind of why I wore it every day.
Cool. So what was it like? This is kind of where more Keelan was going. Was like the first few trips where it was basically you as an adult, and then you with like.
Oh, it was strange.
Yeah.
Well, it made me feel a bit like I could see that the guys were really like, they were next level, because they're younger than me. They've started with more of like being taught the foundations. When I was younger, it was just kind of like, you see what
you kind of learn your own way.
I had to teach myself, and like I was seeing these like actual athletes with me, and it was intimidating but inspiring at the same time.
Did you remember younger? Because
not at all.
I think you've always been very good at, like, you can, for the most part, you can deal when it gets immature and silly. It doesn't so much anymore because everyone's got older, but like when it used to get really silly, you were always quite good at dealing with it. Imagine George was you on like the lease trip.
Oh, he would not.
I was talking to Keelan about this in America, and when we were all having a bit of like, I think when we were in LA, when we were a bit separated because of how long we'd been together, and I was like, I realised early on that I'm just not going to fit in to certain parts of Keelan and Max's like attitude and silliness, and like some people in the group didn't understand that.
Yeah. There are like there are some you can lower to it on some levels,
and I just had to accept that I'm not going to be able to get on their level. Like I'm just my own sort of person.
But then that's the same as me when I was on tour. I don't think I could understand how the guys' brains were working. Like sometimes I'd be like, why do they think that's annoying? Like, why is that annoying?
Why shouldn't I do this in this shop in public?
Exactly. But that was an interesting.
It's just a balance, I think. I think it still happens. Like even like Soul Destroyer in the house, like you're kind of flitting between.
It brings it back. Yeah, as soon as we're all
Marx,
together.
Can you hear sirens? Do you feel like you're in London?
Yes, London. Civilization.
Marx is freaked out being in the countryside.
I saw cows on the train. That's in McDonald's.
Yeah. We could kill you and no one would know.
Yeah. Bury you in the woods. Where shall we go on to? I mean, speaking of America, I want to talk about benchmark jumps and some other stuff. But so I think I feel like I've always known it to a degree, but America was where it really, like, we saw it.
Yeah.
And then since then, you've done other things. You are weirdly, surprisingly creative outside of movement in terms of filming, photo editing on your phone, video editing on your phone. You obviously just put out the, what was it, New School Movement, Old School? I can't remember what it was.
Oh, the
Old School
phone
Movement,
video.
Yeah. Which is done really well. Like, is that something that you've put serious time into, or do you just dabble? And have you ever is it something you want to do more of?
Well, I'm a bit weird. I go in phases. I was talking to actually Will on Instagram on the way out. I was asking what I should talk about because he knows me best.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was saying to talk about my superpower, which he brought up. He's the one who told me I got a superpower, but I kind of agree with him a bit. But when I say it, I mean, what happens to me is I get really, really obsessive over one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And so with the video that I recently made, I would just be thinking about that every day, every hour.
Yeah, because I mean, you were like, I need to film more clips for this. I'm filming more clips for this.
I would be out, and all the guys in London were like, he's out again? Yeah. And I remember when I finished, and some of the guys were like, can you still come out? Because they knew that I was going to just disappear again. But when I'm in that mode, I even at home, if like I'm just sitting there doing research on how to do better shots, like how to watching videos on how to make it look better. Yeah. I just get obsessive, but at the same time, it gives me infinite motivation. Yeah. So yeah, that's my weird. Because
you've done there was that period where you were you did so many phone edits, like extreme editing.
Oh, like photos.
And it was like every photo you take. Yeah. You take an edit.
Because at least you were doing it.
Yeah, and you do an edit that was just fucking like abstract and mind blowing and takes serious time. It's like, well, how the fuck do you even? But do you find like you went through that phase and then you obviously don't do it anymore? Is it something that you think you'll do again? Is it something that you want
with photos?
Just or any of the kind of habits, but like phases. Yeah. Have you ever come back to one of them? Obviously, parkour is like one big phase.
Parkour's the one big phase of my life.
The others,
But with others, it's like a tree. It branches off, and it always connects back to parkour usually, which is interesting. I have gone back and forward with stuff.
Because I feel like you have the brain where if you really wanted, you could pursue like filmmaking as a creative.
But then I would drop off it
because you get bored.
Because I put all of the motivation and get rewarded in such a short amount of time.
Yeah,
that it doesn't. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Exactly, but do you not think you could like, in the same way that like, because parkour, it's not like you obsess over one challenge and you do that Grand Prix and then you're like, oh cool, parkour's over. Yeah, it's like, oh, now there's another challenge. Could you not be like, oh, I'm going to do this edit of this style, and then you're like, oh, why not I do this?
Yeah, no, I do think about it. Yeah, I was thinking about making another phone video.
Yeah.
With a different song. Songs really influence the way that I imagine the video, which is crazy. Like, I'll just listen to the song over and over and imagine the video happening in the song, even though it's not even been shot yet.
Yeah. I think this is the thing that I've seen in you, is that you can put yourself, like, in the headspace of... Because some people are like, oh, I like making videos. But they almost can't get themselves in the headspace there's no proper way to do things, but like almost like the typical way. And that, I think, when it comes to listening to a song, you envision everything. Some people fucking plan it out, things like that, and you can put yourself in that headspace and you do it and you complete your project and then you move on and then you put yourself in the headspace of like, now I'm going to get really strong, and then you do that and then you move on, and like, it's interesting, like
productive headspace, I guess. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, so you like, but I think you have that. You definitely have some foundation stuff in your life where you are just straight up fucking, you're productive and you're like, your work ethic is strong.
Yeah, that's just the drive thing that... Yeah. I have a weird one in the past where when I got injured, like, have you seen my drawings?
Yes, I've seen them in your bedroom. I have.
Yeah.
Old house, I think.
And I know, like, still up until now, quite a bit of an attention seeker. Like I'll be self-aware about that. I know that, and a lot of things I do is to get recognition and attention. I feel like everyone does.
But do you think in a way of like sort of look at me, like give me attention, or are you like
no,
this
it's
is a
more
creation?
like,
this
definitely
is,
think it's more.
I
like
think there's
that.
a difference there.
Oh really?
You can tell that as well. It's more like
Yeah.
you want to make something. You're like, I think people will enjoy this.
Yeah,
I want you to have that.
What I was saying is with what I did when I got injured when I was younger is I had spaces where I was lacking that reward system, and I was trying to think, what can I put out there that people are going to still have that wow factor? And I can draw, but I hate drawing. Like I hate drawing so much; it's the boringest thing. But
No way.
if you've seen any more drawings, I feel like I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And I would just sit there for 2 hours more sometimes, just doing like tracing and like getting it all right. And then just post it on Facebook to get some likes. Like, it's so strange. Like, I would never draw. I'd never draw, like, for the fun of it, ever.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
So you're literally like, you're sort of straight up saying like you don't enjoy doing it, but you do it essentially to gain sort of not. I wouldn't say likes because that's a very social media like specific thing because you might want to but you do it so that you can literally just show people.
So I'm still kind of like
relevant. Like
yeah,
that's
relevant.
Interesting. Yeah.
Did you get any of this feeling when on the America tour? Because I feel like most of the footage of I'd say behind the scenes, whatever happened in the van and shit, it was like mostly because you picked up the handycam. There's so many interesting shots. Did you just get when you think of the handycam?
Yeah, and that's the other creative
Marx.
thing is Marx picked up the handycam at the start of the America tour, and he took this camera that is a fucking shitty dad cam and was capturing like incredible shots, and we were all like, how the fuck's he doing this?
Yeah, it was cool.
So that was one thing.
With the sun and shit. Were you just playing with it? It's just fun to like...
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, I think maybe at the beginning what happened is I realised that that the guys weren't really into doing the behind the scenes and picking up that camera.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, what I can show people is that side. Like I got an opportunity to show that I'm good at something.
Yeah.
Like I don't like everyone else is showing their character and how funny they are and stuff like that, and I can be like, well, you know what? I'll make the most of what I got in my hand and like enjoy it and try and show everyone that like literally pick up something, learn and put something out there that's different.
That's so interesting though, because that one is like you're kind of gambling with, we're editing it, you're shooting. So in your mind it's kind of like you might not get the recognition. Like a lot of people probably just won't know. But a lot of the best moments would not have been on film because
if you hadn't captured half that stuff, the series would be so different.
Yeah.
But I think you understand the value.
It's fucking so good. I'm so happy you did that.
Yeah, you get the value, and I think I share that, like, because I think I've just grown up in the last 10 years filming in that way that like there's so much value in like moments behind the scenes that aren't in that moment the most crazy thing, but they capture the character.
I mean, I've watched so many times videos on like an old computer or a USB, and it's just like I'm so happy that that's still there. Like,
yeah.
You're like, oh my god, that exists. Like, and that was so genius. It's such a funny moment. Like,
and it is weird because you have to almost sacrifice being in the moment because you have to stand on the outside of it. Which I think
but
was
it's
when
worth it.
Yeah, we give the camera to like Keelan, Max, Robbie, and people, and they kind
We
of
really feel it. I
you kind
really
of go
felt
like,
sometimes.
yeah, I'll take it, and then you just don't use it.
Well, that's when I ended up punching Keelan.
Wait, was that in the van?
No, what happened is
punch him in the balls, didn't you?
we were in Grand Canyon. And
that clip.
Yeah.
See, my brain is so bad.
Do you not remember
it? No, I only remember it from the video, and I'm like, why did he punch me in the balls? Because I was filming, right? And then I turned around, and then you just...
No?
You were filming, and then...
Yeah, all right, I'll explain. Okay, so I got out the van, and I wanted to get a chance to do some funny stuff. Like, I'd be building it up in my head to do some... Because I had a whole trip. I'm like, I know what I'm going to do when I finally get some time on the camera. And, like, I was like, Keelan, could you record? I tried to say it in the nicest way. And what do? You pick it up from the strap. And you're holding it with your finger and thumb out, arm's length, just dangling it. Like, what is this?
And we happen to be filming on a different camera.
Yeah.
Like it's just in the background of one of the clips, isn't it? Like,
and he's just holding it there, like staring at it. Sarah's there, just cracking up because he's just staring at this thing. Like you were like holding it, like, what is this? I don't know what this is. And I asked you again. I was like, please, can you, like, you haven't done anything, please just film some stuff. And you were like, and instead of answering me, you just like, I don't know what it is.
Oh,
He
fuck me.
kept the joke going too long.
And then I can't remember. I didn't. Maybe I just punched you there.
I
I
but-
think
flicked
yeah,
him
you
in the
just
balls.
What the fuck is going on here?
You are
Oh,
attached to a
okay.
phone cable.
Yeah, no. The funny thing is because all of that is so weirdly just not memorable. Like a
Yeah.
lot of that trip when stuff like that happened.
Oh, I remember
'Cause
so
I think
much
that's just
from
how
it.
I was.
Yeah.
Like looking back, I am a bit of a little shit sometimes. Just not. I don't think it's annoying, and then I'm like, why did I get like?
That time when you were in the disabled toilets with Max and
And
I was,
Robbie.
and Robbie, and I was
Yeah.
sat outside with George, and we were like, "What's
Like,
wrong with these
what is
guys?"
going on? Yeah.
Like George is not liking it.
George was really unhappy.
Yeah,
There'd be moments like I don't know, I'd be sorting out something in the van and I'd come into like we'd stop at a KFC or whatever and I'd come in like 5 minutes later and like George would be sitting there looking so kind of serious and he'd be like, the boys are in the fucking disabled toilet. Like he's like, there's a man waiting to go to like take his kid to the toilet and you can hear screaming from inside and like you three are in
Fuck's
one
sake.
toilet together like trashing it. And I was just like, oh for fuck's sake. Like,
It's so funny. We didn't even think it was bad. Like it's not like I think there was definitely times where because all of you had been with us for so long that when there was a situation that was ever so slightly bad,
yeah.
people would make it seem worse.
Yeah.
I don't think George he didn't really need to get as like
10 years
angry.
time, Keelan,
But,
what I'm
you know,
going to do.
Yeah, but it goes back to the thing where he's just not in your
Yeah, exactly.
vibe.
I can't
Yeah, exactly. 10 years time, I'm going to be a couple of kids at home, like managing all the home stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to have younger sponsored athletes, and I'm going to send you out as the one in charge. And they'll all be like 15, and I'll
You-
be like, yeah,
you wait.
Keelan, you go, you're like 28 now, go deal with that.
You wait, we'll come back and I will be back to the same old
Yeah.
people. And you will be like, fuck! You'll be like, I thought that would gonna sort you out.
There'll be no clips.
Yeah.
But so just to go back to your kind of
Apologies, by the way, for not filming.
Oh, that's okay. No, it made it what
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, to go back to your kind of work ethic and stuff, like, I mean, that was, the America tour was where you fucking delivered. It was like every stop,
Yes.
before we'd even got out of the van, you were like, I've got to run. And you like,
Always so many,
And
there's
you're-
so many clips for you. which
you're
is
like
so fucking
insistent, you're like, Giles, I'm ready, I've got to run. And I'm like, yeah, I've just got to film Keelan, Max, and then Luke. So you're at the end, you're like, I'm ready, can we go now? It's like,
yeah.
you just, I think that's just your mindset, isn't it? You lock on. Like,
I got stuck on that as well as because of lease. I don't know how to say it. Leases.
yeah. Leases.
Because of that, I remember like being short on clips and everyone else be like getting loads of clips, getting really like bangers, and I was feeling quite like intimidated. And I think as soon as we went on the America tour, that all came back. The mindset was like, you know what, this time, no, that's not happening.
Yeah. You
And
fucking
so I just,
hammered it.
I don't know. Well, it was like my main chance to like show my worth, so I just pushed it to
Yeah.
what I could. Yeah.
And you did.
It did. There was a couple of stops where, personally, because I'd be editing, I'd notice some people would be like, oh, they didn't get any clips at that stop. But there would always be enough clips of you to fill up the edit, which is
Yeah.
like really, really good.
Yeah, a little
And I think you
piece
just-
of me inside.
But all-
When I hear someone hadn't got a clip, I was, ooh. Oh, I'm so sorry, Keelan.
But like it was just so helpful as well. That I think also your training style is
Yeah.
interesting to watch. So there might have been some moments where you might not have asked to film, but there was already a camera pointing at you because
Oh.
it looked like you were prepping.
And it's
Yeah.
rarely a single thing. It's like a fucking complex line.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do stuff that even in like a few years, I'm looking back and being like, yeah, that was a good line.
for
Like,
sure,
so
definitely.
Sick.
And then I mean the other sort of work ethic thing that I think you are just sort of killing is you coach what 6 days a week.
used to be 7.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you work.
Jeez.
We're always like, hey Mark, do you want to come and like actually come out filming or come and do this trip? And you're like, no, I'm working. And it's like, but you
Yeah.
enjoy it, right?
Yeah. It's second best to parkour. Like,
And is that just because you want to spread and you want to like bring the kids up?
yeah. Well, there's this like feeling when you stick a jump. There's this feeling of like, oh yeah, I did it, it's success. And then there's next to that is watching someone you've taught stick a jump. And it's sometimes it's better than you doing it, and it's crazy because the kids, they don't even know. Like, you're way more like film way more achieved than they do sometimes, and it's really confusing. But at the same time,
Interesting.
it's
I definitely understand that for sure.
Yeah.
But it just feels good to like. It's not just movement that you're teaching as well. You get to teach them how to think about training, how to do it safe.
It's there. You can see the development of their brain, right?
Yeah.
And like they can overcome fear, which is
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Sick.
There's so much like just overcoming, like how they do stuff. Like a kid will fall down and they start crying. You tell them like, no, you didn't hurt yourself. You're fine. Get up, train. Like if it was easy, everyone would do it, sort of thing. Like. I just love that.
That's so cool. That is really cool. I would love to just watch in person, see what you do when you teach.
I would love to watch in person. Sometimes I like teaching, and I'm like, I should just put. I forget every time. I want to see, because sometimes I get really in the moment, and I think I'm killing this, like because I do it every day. I want to see, am I doing it to the, like, if I watched myself, like, am I doing it to the best I could ever do it? Like,
do you teach like a range of ages? Because I've mostly only seen like young kids.
Yeah, well, from like 3 years old to like 16.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yesterday, we were overrun. We were too many kids. No, there was 37 kids in a lesson and 3 coaches.
Fuck.
That's incredible.
Which is not supposed to happen, but we did it. Like 16 people in one group. I had.
Jesus Christ. We have at like the max 10, I think. Coaching.
And am I right in thinking do you run the entire thing and then you hire extra coaches, or are you employed?
No, so I'm employed. I'm quite close to the person in charge. And I've brought coaches in who are free runners, and I'm usually the head coach there. So I'm sick. Yeah.
And I mean, it's obviously paying off because you are now officially a homeowner along with
got a mortgage.
Along with your partner. Trapped in with a mortgage.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's
pretty good.
That's been like, you've been wanting that for a while now, right?
Yeah,
it takes so much time.
You've climbed 6 months. Ladder.
From
a cupboard.
From a cupboard, yeah. 5 years.
Wait. So what cupboard were you in?
So 5 years ago, when I moved out of my parents' house, I moved into my friend's house that they were renting.
Yeah.
And well, I just went over there once. They didn't have a space for me.
You just never left.
And they were showing me around the house, and they were like, "Look at this cupboard. This is so big, isn't it?" They weren't trying to say anything or hit anything, but I was like, I just went in there and I lied down, and then I said, "Can I stay here?"
How big are we talking? Like
I could lie down in it. It was like you could fit a single bed in the cupboard.
If there was a wall from, you see the edge of this clothing thing here to like here.
It's still smaller than that.
Smaller than that.
So it's like,
but bigger than this desk.
From head to toe, like lying down, and then I put a mattress in that was from like a sofa, but it was just a bed basically.
Yeah.
And I stayed there for 6 months.
Jesus.
Didn't even realise by the time it was 6 months. I was like, oh my god, I've been sleeping in a cupboard for 6 months. I'm Harry Potter.
Where was it? Under the stairs?
Yeah, under the stairs.
Amazing.
Where was your stuff? Where would you put your belongings? Like in that room?
No, there was like a tiny bit to the room that stuck out. So inside, so I would put stuff there in a rucksack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And while I was doing that, I started my first coaching job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, well,
the money started rolling in.
5 years later, I got my own place.
Yeah, this is Marx, who travelled around America for 5 weeks with a single Motus rucksack full of clothes.
No, I told you guys I could do it.
You said you were going to do it.
Was it the Motus one?
Yeah,
as well?
it's the Motus one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Small, was it smaller?
I
it was
bought
smaller
one
than that, wasn't it?
It was a blue one.
Little blue thing, wasn't it?
Blue.
Yeah.
Was it a Just Do It one, or was it not?
No,
I thought it was like a little
I bought one for a Europe
what
trip
the hell?
I done, and then it was so good on that I just used it.
Yeah.
How did you manage?
It was fine.
I mean, you definitely wore the same clothes most of the time.
Yeah,
but you didn't. I don't think you smell. I don't remember you smelling.
No, I think people can wear the same clothes for a very long period of time. It's just
Well, it wasn't too bad. I tried to change them every day.
I mean, apart from when you wore way too many clothes at Woodward and got heat stroke.
Oh yeah, that was bad. Well, I just wear black. That's why.
Well, you're wearing jeans, a long sleeve, and a shirt in boiling
a black
heat.
hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, guys, I feel really weird.
And I was like, run, help me, get water.
That must have been
but it wasn't water, it was just Gatorade.
Yeah. Fucking Woodward.
Yeah, that probably was horrible.
So, I mean, how's the flat? Are you happy with it?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. It's a studio flat. We've got like a like a raised bed so that it makes more room.
I wanted that bed, right?
Yeah.
Because we've got this spare room downstairs. I
Yeah.
said to Sarah, I was like, if we put that in, it could be an activities room and
Yeah.
the guests can sleep above. And she's like, oh, my parents come and stay sometimes. I'm like, fuck it, they can climb the ladder.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, it's perfect. We got the TV underneath.
yeah,
it,
I saw, yeah.
I really want to come and have a look at it.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Does it just feel
Sounds so good.
Does it just feel nice because you can like actually do like you can put posters, pictures up and things?
Well, yeah, but it hasn't really set in yet. It's only been like 2.5 weeks, so it still feels like I'm in an Airbnb.
You got fucking burgled in your old place, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Last day of Soul Destroyer, you came over and then you fucking went home and got burgled.
What was the like short story behind that? Because that was weird for me to look at a picture of just your place trashed.
Because you literally just left. You were like, "Oh, see you guys later." It was the last day, and you were like, "Yeah, see ya." And then
next thing we know,
you just sent a WhatsApp photo, and you were like, "Just been robbed."
Yeah, well, it wasn't actually as bad as it looked, because they had just like rushed in. Like, well, I got home and I like opened the door and there's just everything everywhere. Like,
yeah.
And I looked through stuff and they really hadn't taken much.
They just pulled everything out, right?
Yeah, and they like took. We thought that they took like some expensive jewelry that was my girlfriend's, and the only thing they really took was just a cup of cash. Because they couldn't find anything else.
Yeah.
And I think they went to get the jewelry, and then they knocked it over, and it went all over the place. But in the end, we found all of the jewelry.
Oh wow. But I mean,
yeah.
that was it was in like a block of flats, so I guess they were probably worried about neighbours. And
They must have rushed in and out.
Fast.
Like,
Jesus Christ.
But so that must have been nice to get out of, like.
Oh yeah.
To feel like in a better area or whatever. Like.
Yeah.
Do you have anything? Is anything different now from where you live? Like because.
Oh well. We don't hear. Well, I had like a roommate that just screamed all night playing FIFA.
Really?
Yeah. So he worked at McDonald's in the day, and then at night he would just come home and play FIFA screaming.
What,
in the
like
same
just getting
house?
gassed up?
Yeah, just some Jamaican guy, and you bring his friends around like 3:00 in the morning and just scream.
Wait, roommate or like next door?
Like so. Well, I was in this like place that basically you have your own room and you live with others. It's like a house.
This isn't the studio.
No.
Okay.
I was saying how different it is.
Yeah.
And like there was like 7 people in this tiny flat. But
This wasn't the one that I've been to, is it?
No.
Okay.
And you would never see anyone, but you would hear this guy just screaming all the time,
What the
swearing
hell?
about like not getting a goal on FIFA. But when I went to the studio, I missed him. I missed the sound because I would sleep to it. He'd be like, fuck, fucking hell, fuck. You just hear, ah! I'm like, where's that gone? I want that.
And you live near Wandsworth now, right?
You're in Wandsworth.
In Wandsworth.
Centre of Wandsworth.
So you were
yeah.
just surrounded by some banging training spots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's sick. Oh, actually, let's fucking talk about this. I mean, we can't give them away because we still need to release the video. But you are the Google Maps master.
Oh, that's one of my drives as
Google
well.
Maps master. We basically said, we were like, oh, we want to film Soul Destroyer at like new spots. And we knew Marx was good at this, and we were like, cool, put together a list. Fucking abundance of just incredible
That was
locations.
so fucking cool.
Well, I was looking for spots before you said this.
Yeah.
And it was like a little thing that I did. But then when it had a meaning to it,
Yeah.
like I genuinely would wake up, and look on my phone for like 5 hours. I'm not even joking. For like, there was this like time where, for maybe a month, I did that. And sometimes off days because I have to work and do stuff.
Yeah. Just dropping pins.
I literally searched the whole of London.
Yeah, because you said like you kept finding places you'd already found, right? Like
Yeah,
you'd go back
I would
and...
like keep finding things I've already found. And once I'd found pretty much all the spots I thought that there was, I discovered that you can go into 3D mode, and I went nuts. I was like,
And you got on your
That helps.
Yeah.
I've dabbled with that before, and you go like that.
oh
and
my
you're like,
god,
"Whoa, I
it
can see
changed everything.
Because then you get the perspective, yeah. And then you got on your bike and started going and...
Oh yeah, I
visiting
went
them,
to
like-
pretty much all the things I could find. And,
Yeah.
it
And
was
there's,
crazy.
I mean, you found some fucking insane places that we're still yet to... We're still sitting
like a
on.
treasure.
We need to go back and
Treasure.
shoot some
Yeah,
stuff
so
up.
is there still spots we can go to that we haven't?
There's still
Yeah.
so many on the list
Have you
that we
seen
haven't.
the map? I'll show you at the end.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, when we release Soul Story, we'll release all the spots.
Oh.
Well,
We should release it in a cooler way than just a social media post.
we will. I've got
Like-
ideas.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I need a wee.
You need a wee? All right.
Yeah.
And there's a bathroom right there. We'll carry on talking.
Lovely.
Yeah, lovely.
How do I sound, ladies and
Keelan's
gentlemen?
jumping across
Oh, it
to the
just
guest.
smells of liquor over here.
Liquor?
I'm joking.
Cider.
It's cider.
Smells of liquor.
Oh, it's strong cider. That's what it is. I miss being back in my own seat.
So, audience, how are you enjoying this? I think it's going quite well, personally.
I quite enjoy it.
Had some good chat.
This is an interesting one actually to do because I've known Marx for so long, but I don't see him enough.
And sometimes
so every time I see
get
him
in his head sometimes. Like,
yeah, or he doesn't take things personally at all, does he? Really?
I think you get when you're training. Sometimes you have chats with people, and it's like just training based. Mm-hmm. And unless you have like a chill out session afterwards or on Facebook, like chatting or something, you don't necessarily get like to know the person.
But Marx is also the type of guy who you come back.
Slow shutters.
Yeah, so I'll tell you about that. I had to buy new toilet seats. Marx was just complaining because I got loud toilet seats. I had to buy new ones when we moved in, and I had the good ones on a tab, and then I had those ones on a tab.
Yeah.
And was like shopping for because they're square toilet seats. They're like weirdly hard to find the right size, and I kept finding ones that were way too expensive, and then sort of was like, oh fuck, here we go, like these are the ones. Bought the cheap ones, and then realised I bought the wrong one. Like I bought the no slow shutting thing.
Why don't you just return them?
Because I don't know, just couldn't be bothered.
No. Yeah, I'm like that.
It's savage. Like sometimes you like go for a piss in the night, and because I've got really good at lowering them now, and sometimes I slip with my finger, and it's like ba boom, and I'm like fuck. So,
yeah,
Have you got a soft shutting one?
I was blown away by all this. Everything in my place.
Have you got soft closed cupboards?
Everything. Like it's changed my life.
Yeah.
Well, when I was younger, everything was just hard. Smack. Even the fridge didn't even have one of those soft things. The plastic bits.
Just bang.
It was just bang.
Wow.
Like a piece of metal.
Our old flat had like fire doors, so like they closed really slowly, and they were like that
to
stop
God.
like. They're really thick, and like they close really like well to stop fire risk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I remember living there for a while and then staying somewhere where they had normal doors, and because you used to have to close the fire doors, you had to pull them really hard.
Yeah.
And I'd like walk out of a room and be like boom, and I'm like, oh fuck. Like,
Has living on your own now as well? Have you got like obsessed over like designing the floor? As in, like, putting new furniture in, you're like, oh, it could look like this, or it could look like that.
My girlfriend, like you're not the deciding factor there.
Okay.
My girlfriend is definitely more passionate tenfold than me, so I just kind of let her.
That's how I am.
Because, like, I know that it means so much more to her.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you do it. And actually, the other day, she got so annoyed that I had no input.
Oh, really?
So it folded in on itself.
Oh, no. I'm like, my office is my office, this is my room, but the rest of the house, as long as Sarah's happy with it, because it feels like a mature house. Like we can have like older people over, and it's not like some like den. And I would worry that if I had this entire house to myself, it would all be monochrome. It would just be like whiteboards and shit everywhere, and like cool parkour photography. It's a Victorian house, but it would be me trying to make it like a minimalist, like 2000s apartment, or so. It wouldn't work. Like,
I would end up doing something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, so. So I mean, to rewind, you are incredibly driven. You're incredibly motivated. You kind of, when you settle on something, you commit 100%. However, I have noticed over the last couple of years that you've had this kind of with parkour, this like wavering. Every 6 months, you like go, yeah, I'm going to quit parkour next year and become a professional boxer. I mean, you literally at one stage said you were going to pursue boxing as a career.
Yeah, I know.
And then, like, you're like, oh, yeah, I think I'm going to stop training soon. And then you fucking go out and nail some savage, like, backflip pre, and you're like, I love parkour! Like, do you think that is just your... Like, do you think parkour is genuinely going anywhere? Not going anywhere, going away? Or do you think you just have these ebbs and flows of, like, passion?
I think I just have ups and downs.
Yeah. I think
I just
you're too
like
fucking good.
I feel like I've just adapted and like to that way. Not that it's the best way, but it then it gets a bigger hit for me when I come back.
Yeah, and I think that's completely like fair, because I don't think there's anything really you can just go 100% at all the time, because you burn out.
It's either go like a big hit every now and then, or it's just train and it's just not me. Like I love to always bring something new, and something like wow factor.
Yeah.
Or just
I feel like you're
keeping up
not...
my sort of presence in parkour.
Yeah, like right now I feel like you're not like hitting it crazy hard.
No, I'm going on the dip again.
Like how many times a week?
Darely dunking.
Like how much? But you still coach all the time, obviously. But like, how much do you train on like a dippy time, a dippy egg?
Oh, it's usually nothing.
Really, you like fully just.
Like we've only got the weekend.
Well, I get to train at work doing
Yeah.
like my spatial awareness just gets crazy at work because I've got trampolines and stuff like that. But I just, especially in winter and stuff, I just don't have any motivation to go out.
Yeah. But then when it comes back, you're like every fucking day. It feels like you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really strange. Well, what I've doing recently is I'm trying to do box jumps every day.
Yeah.
So I've still got something in my mind that wants to like, because I was talking to Harrison. Do you know Harrison?
Yeah.
And I always make this joke that I've peaked. And I've said it so many times, and other people have said it so many times that I believed it. I'm pretty sure I still believe it a little bit.
Yeah.
And Harrison heard me say that, and we were in McDonald's, and he was like convincing me that there's no way that I've peaked. Like that there's athletes that can go to like 37 and be
Still
at their
progress.
strongest at that point.
Yeah.
And the same day, I went and done a line that I would not even thought I was going to do that.
So it sounds like a lot of your life is like just where your head is at that time.
Yeah.
Like just like if you can get yourself. And have you ever tried like manipulating your head in a way, like going, I'm gonna get better at this, or like I'm gonna throw myself into this and see what the results are.
Yeah. Well,
I think I think that's probably where the passion comes from, because it sounds like you just do throw yourself into different things.
Yeah, I like to just see what I'm good at.
Yeah.
Just see what I can do when I'm just thrown into something that I don't know much about a lot of the time.
This is normally a question that we ask like nearer the end, but like just on that topic, what kind of, looking forward in the future, is there anything you're like, I want to see how good I am at this, or I want to try this, like aspirations, whether it's parkour or outside of parkour?
Well, I want to own my own company. Well, I do with benchmark jumps, but I want a bigger chair. I want to be able to support people as well.
Yeah.
And in the end, for it to be that I'm helping people, like not just that I rise to the top sort of thing with business, that I then offer people the chance as well. That's one of my main goals.
For like to have like jobs and things.
Yeah.
Because that's my position, is like, it's, you want to own the company because you want to then like, I want to create jobs.
Yeah.
Like I want to go, hey Marx, here's a full-time salary. Hey Keelan, here's a full-time salary.
And to give people what they're really worth.
Exactly.
Like to get to know people and then give them what like you really think they're worth. Like because a lot of the time I see it happen all the time. People are really talented, really like genuine, they're consistent, competent, and they just get let down. They just get held back by what they've committed themselves to, or like what job they committed themselves to. But I want to just give people that are like that more opportunity to actually like grow. Because it could then create something massive. Like not just parkour, but it just, if everyone was getting a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Then
I mean it's essentially a fair society. It's the idealism. Amazing. But I mean, it is. It's like, that's the ideal scenario, isn't it? And then unfortunately, you get greed and everything else. But,
so that's my biggest goal.
And are there any like steps or directions you're taking related to that?
I'm just trying to learn as much as I can about business and people, and just interaction and how like it all works. There's still learning so much about business and
it's fucking
how you're supposed to treat people, and there's obviously a side to business that where you don't give people what they're worth straight away because they just get bored. Like, so you have to build it up, and I'm still learning on trying to figure that out.
I feel like that's going to go far, because with all of the things you've sort of got into and you try and be the best at it, do you know what I mean? Like you get better. I can almost see it as like you're a video game character and you try and level up all of things. You're like, I don't want to level up just this. I want to level it all up so I can complete
All your
it.
stats are balanced.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And not
And-
just good at one thing.
Yeah, and because you really get involved with things, like, I guess you're learning about business. It's like almost, it's just more enjoyable because you're really like fixated on it. You're just gonna do well in it.
Yeah.
You know,
Sick.
I think that'd be cool.
I mean, yeah. So, what is the obviously benchmark jumps? How long have you had that now? Like a year?
Yeah, hasn't been around for long.
And for anyone unaware, that is a lift. No, it's not. Well, it's lifting and plyometric program predominantly, and then you did an upper body one as well, right?
Yeah, so there's jumping and then upper body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is there a new one coming?
No,
But
I
that's
was
not going to be benchmarks.
I was something in the works, and it just kind of like
Didn't happen.
it's on hold.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it
cool.
might happen sometime.
it relies on other people, therefore it's
Yes.
harder. Yeah. Suddenly, when it's not just you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I had like, so basically the new programs were going to be about learning specific skills instead of just jumping and your body and your muscles. And what I wanted to do is connect the skills with the people who are the best at those skills.
Yeah.
And I had like basically wrote the programs before like in a few days, and then I would ask, I was like, Max, I wanted to do a side pre-program. I was like, Max, I'm ready. Like,
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, I'm going to America. I'm doing this, and I'm like, and he's really genuine. He wants to do it, but people are busy.
Yeah, and you want other people too. Like I swear, you wanted Alfred Scott.
Yeah, Alfred Scott I had on board with it, and Travis.
Yeah.
So it was Max, Travis, and Alfred Scott, which still could happen.
But you just it's hard because you're, like we were saying before, you are such a kind of like now person.
Yeah.
Like with your runs, when you want to do your runs, you kind of like, I want to do it right now because I've got the motivation for it. But yeah, getting other people involved and them having the same sort of attitude towards it is going to be really hard.
Yeah.
But that would be sick when it comes out. I feel like a lot of people will want that specific training guide to certain things.
I thought it was a great idea when I started. I was like, that's what I would have wanted when I was.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And like to see if someone's idolising Max Barker, like they want to be like get side pre's like him.
And obviously the
You wanna
people
hear it
that
from him.
helped me, like Max, would get a cut of it, just like I was saying with the business. So
Yeah.
he would get what his worth from it, like what he's adding to it, and it would give him motivation to do it in the first place and put more time into it. Maybe he's secretly writing still right now.
Yeah, maybe. But so in terms of like the kind of the classic benchmark jumps, is that still kind of churning away? Like, is it still? I feel like you're not pushing it as hard as you were.
I feel like most of the people that were gonna buy a program have bought a program.
Okay.
Is got to that point where there's a limit of people in the pod community that want to do a program.
Do you not think there's like almost like second and third and fourth waves though, where like, let's say I'm like super keen, I buy a program, I use it for however many months, then I get strong, and then I'm like, hey Keenan, you fucking need to try out this program, and then he gets on it. So surely like there's almost like these waves.
There is, but it didn't show in my analytics of it.
Yeah. Okay.
What did usually make it spike is offering people discounts and I just didn't keep up with it. I think if I kept up with it and kept pushing it and telling people how good I think it is, then it would have, like you said, go like that. But I just I left it, and I wasn't expecting it to just keep going. It's pretty much completely stopped, like the sales.
Did you treat it almost like one of the? Because I don't want to call it a phase because it's bigger than that. Because you helped like so many people with it as well. But do you always feel like it was?
It was definitely one of those driven
You put so much
phases,
hard work into it at that point, and then you're like, okay, next thing. Like,
that was it, pretty much.
It's cool how that works, though.
Yeah, it was good. Like, it felt good. Really
like
good after.
It's almost like you've learned something from it, and therefore you're like, cool, I've got that, leveled up that stat, and like
Next one.
keep that moving.
Yeah.
No, that's sick. Is there anything else we should get onto before we get on into the real
story time?
I'm waiting for
You got
this.
some treats,
the real meat?
It's going to be hard to take you serious. It's being hard taking you seriously when you're wearing a fucking car mat.
This is my dream. This is my dream.
Mark's art. Is it still the fucking icon of the chat?
Yeah, I think so.
We have a Motus chat, and then we have a clothing chat as well. And the clothing one, Marx, however long ago, suggested that we should make. Yeah, it is. Should make. If anyone remembers those like they're like a mat from school, or like.
Or you'd have it at home. Or you had it at home with your little Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah, it was like it's like a really basic cartoon like street, like green grass and like grey roads. Everyone knows this fucking mat. And Marx was like, we should make a matching tracksuit like this, but it has London spots on it. And we all shunned the idea because it sounds ridiculous. But Marx is obsessed with it, so I found one of these shirts online. I bought it for him, and I forgot about it
right now.
Forgot about it, and it was sitting in the office, and Keelan just found it and gave it to him.
I swear it's been there for years.
So Marx looks like he's wearing the floor of a children's nursery.
The thing is, with your idea with the parkour spots, it's something that I'd want to see happen, but I don't think it'd be something I'd
I wasn't
buy.
Completely obsessed with it. I thought it was just hilarious. I just thought it would be so good.
It'd be cool to look at.
Yeah.
And you'd look at it and be like, look at all the spots. But
I'm just taking a photo right now.
This can be promoting the Insta.
There we go.
The podcast on the Insta.
I don't know if I'm just going to put this on the story. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to put this on the story now.
Yeah, people can... Don't even type anything.
Oh, that's right, Mark's name. And then if anyone listens to this in a week's time, they'll remember this photo.
Ah, yes.
How this looks right now. Banging. Done. All right. Yeah, but so Marx has been very excited to tell a couple of stories. Should we go teeth first?
Yeah, I want to dive into the teeth because I...
Dive into the teeth.
I didn't even mean to say
nice
that.
one.
Fucking dig my face into the teeth.
So before I ask questions, you should probably just explain what happened because people would kind of know on your story, like you explained it. Because
disclaimer, not for the faint-eared.
The teeth one isn't even that interesting, but
no, but
it's one of my worst.
For me, after that picture you sent of your teeth, I was waiting for a story.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I really want to just know the
nuggets.
Even if you just said like,
yeah, okay. Disclaimer before you listen to this
you got
about
dental.
Teeth. Yeah. So I was with my girlfriend at the beach, like 3 days before I get my mortgage. So it's gonna happen anyway. And it was at Brighton Beach, and the stones, like leading down to the water, it was quite at an angle, and so I thought that it would continue like that all the way under the water, and it's quite deep. And I was like,
this the first time you jumped in?
No, I've done it before, and it was fine because it must have been higher on that slope.
Okay.
And I was just looking at the water. My girlfriend got in first, and as she was coming out, because I had to look after the stuff, I was waiting for her to get out so I could run and do a 360 dive roll.
Is this you being a show off?
No, I just was like, she's seen me do it before. I was just trying to like, I was just
Look
trying
at me.
I was just trying to be cool, I guess. And I just ran as fast as I could, hurting my feet on the stones, and then like tried to do a 360 dive roll without my hands.
Dive roll or dive?
360. Well, okay, 360 dive into the water.
Yeah.
And like I was going through the air, and have you
without your hands?
Yeah, without my hands. Have you ever done a 360 dive roll and you freak out in the air and you're like, okay, this isn't a 360 dive roll?
It's kind of a back to then.
You're like,
oh no, I'm going to land on my head. Yeah. That happened, and I was like, well, it's water. So in the air, I was like, it's water, it's going to be fine. And I just hit the water, then it's like a foot of water straight to my head underneath his stones, and I just like smash my head. I like bump along a few stones along on my head, pulling like bits of my hair out as I go with it. You can see up here.
Oh yeah. How long? This couple of weeks ago, right?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
how did that feel?
No, wait.
Okay.
So I did that. I hit my head, and like a lot of people have done a lot of fails on their head. They get up and they're like, okay, let's see, am I fine?
Yeah.
It's just, oh no, it's just a hit on my head. I'll be fine. And I tried to do that, so I got up and I was like, oh, I'd probably just bruised my head. That was stupid, wasn't it? And then like this guy waving over to me like, are you all right? And I was like, oh no, I'm fine. And he just he just got up and sprinted over to me, and he's like, you're not fine, stop. And then like I was bleeding from each side down my face.
Water makes it run, doesn't it?
Yeah, and so there was blood running down my face, and then as he was coming over, I felt that my front teeth, there was just no front teeth there.
No.
Yeah, I went to put my tongue, and there was just it was all sharp and jagged, and there was like like just gaps.
What, the nerves didn't hurt or anything?
No, it was just I didn't even know it happened. I just was like, oh no, there's no teeth at the front of my teeth, and I instantly didn't care about my head at all.
Yeah.
I just started screaming and nearly crying that I broke my front teeth. Like it's something that
it's fucking traumatic.
yeah, and I was like holding my mouth and almost crying, being like, my teeth, like this, and my girlfriend was basically frozen.
Sorry, wait, was it my teeth or was it my teeth?
Yeah, pretty much my teeth.
Oh, jeez.
And the guy was like, no, don't worry about your teeth, your head. And I was like, no, my teeth. And I was like screaming, fuck. And
I bet you were so annoyed at yourself.
I was so...
fuck you.
Yeah, brilliant day at the seaside.
So sad. I was already stressed because the mortgage was coming up. And then losing my teeth, I was like, what has happened? What
you turned into an old man in one day.
Like, I've just completely fucked up. Like, we started calling an ambulance, blah, blah. I went to the hospital. And basically what I had done, when I hit the water, I didn't hit my teeth. I just hit my head so hard that I bit my teeth to pieces.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I bit my mouth. Well, this is my theory, because I didn't hit my face at all. There was no marks on my face at all. I must have just bit my teeth so hard.
Just like...
I got still, like, broken bottom ones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that why it's like that?
Yeah.
Doesn't look too bad.
No, they were already pretty much like that. And I just bit them to pieces, and that's pretty much how I did. And the next 2 days I had to go and get it fixed.
But wait, so surely, did you have a savage concussion as well? And you just didn't realise it? Like,
I think it was a little bit of a concussion, or I was just a bit in shock that I nearly
fucking
fainted.
lucky, because you could just snap your neck. Like,
Yeah, I know. I don't know how. My neck wasn't even hurting.
Yeah.
Like, I just went into the water so stiff that I just held
maybe
it.
the stones, because they can move rather than like a hard floor. Like.
But when I went to the hospital, they didn't care about the head. They saw me. They were like, okay, yeah. And then they were like, anything else? I was like, I mean, my teeth. And then they were like, oh, is anything else than your teeth? And they didn't say anything. Like, I thought they were going to be like, oh, we'll assign you to an NHS dentist, and nothing. They were just like, yeah, you're free to go.
Oh, wait, they only cared about your head, they didn't care about your teeth?
Yeah, nothing, yeah.
Because I guess your teeth aren't going to kill you, like, they're like, yeah, whatever.
No, yeah. And that's when I did that video as I was walking down from
That was your walking
hospital,
back from the hospital.
and I was like, my main goal is to blow up, you know that one?
Fucking hell.
Was it that sharp? Like when you run your...
Yeah, there was basically no teeth there. It was snapped off, like both front teeth and the corners of the next ones along.
How long did it take before like you could see a bit of humour in it? I mean, you obviously put it on the story,
I was in a mood. Well, I had a bit of humour in it up until I went to the dentist. I hate the dentist.
Yeah.
And then along with that, they started saying some scary stuff like, you might have to have your tooth pulled out.
Yeah.
Your root canal in both teeth, both teeth. How much it cost.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought it was like, oh, just go NHS, but I'm getting a mortgage in 3 days, and it's £850 to fix my teeth. Yeah. Like,
whoa.
So that just freaked me out so much, and I was, for like a day or two, I was just in the worst mood, just waiting to see if maybe I'll feel normal again with my teeth, and luckily it did.
What, like you were hoping that maybe you could just adapt to them?
No, like I was hoping that when they actually we did an appointment, we signed up for an appointment, and I was hoping that when it had finally done the appointment where they fixed my teeth, that I'll just feel okay then, because I'll have something there.
Do they feel weird or not?
They felt really weird at the start. I can't do that. I can't.
Oh really?
So what do they do? What teeth? I mean, you've got good looking teeth now.
So luckily the roots weren't exposed. Like one of them, the root was super close to being exposed.
And if they'd have to pull it, and then
they would have to put it out. Yeah.
Wow.
But luckily there wasn't, and luckily the person that we went to see, the one dentist, she was a specialist in doing teeth, like fake
smashing,
teeth.
Yeah.
And I was lying there for 2.5 hours, not moving one bit, and then ended up with some new teeth.
But what are they?
They're just I don't know what they do. They're cosmetic fillings.
Can you take them off?
No, they're stuck. They're solid,
They're
stuck there, yeah.
And so what? You can't type your teeth together?
I can, yeah, but I'd rather not do that. Like,
what? Because does it feel weird?
Yeah, really weird.
Do you reckon?
I can't bite a burger. I have to cut up pizza. Yeah.
But wait, why? Because it'll fall out, or?
Because high chance of if I bite into something and I'm just too confident that they'd just snap off.
Yeah, because I guess they are just like
Do you
stuck
reckon it
on.
would do you on that? Like pulled on your teeth.
Yeah, I've done that before in my sleep, but I just don't want to push it. She just said if you're really careful, it will be fine.
And in 20 years, do you think you'll have to like get new ones or something? Like they'll fall off eventually.
Maybe they said that it could just last for the rest of my life, but it just depends. Like she said, depends on how careful I am.
Yeah.
So
So avoiding beaches.
I was just trying to be as careful as I could until I bought dental insurance.
Yes, yeah.
And that kicked in a few days ago. So.
Yeah, Sarah has that. I need to get that. I've got rid of the dentist next
Is
week.
it expensive?
Well, it's just
£25 a month.
but it covers you for like it covers you.
I actually had a dream last night that I broke my teeth.
Oh Jesus!
That they came off. Yeah.
Oh jeez. This is just
Anyway,
Fall down the stairs drinking a
just so
cider.
horrible.
Should we go on to the next story? It's even worse.
Teeth just freak me out because I always worry about like running up to like a rail Kong and like tripping on the run up.
Oh, yeah.
My hands miss and I just go ka-dink like that.
How many
straight.
times have you hit your teeth and you think that you might have broken, but you haven't?
Oh,
Yeah.
Not that often, but
I
a
have.
little bit.
Like sometimes the worst is when you have like a metal fork.
Yeah, or something
You know
like that. Or a
You go out and
bottle.
You bite,
Yeah, a bottle.
You
Glass
bite
bottle.
down too hard. And you're like, woo!
Yeah,
and
you're like-
you touch it. And you're like,
Yeah.
that was really close. Or it's like, oh shit, and you do this, like you touch your teeth and you're like, ah.
Yeah, and you're like, is it wobbly?
Yeah.
Is it wobbly?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
I used to have my tongue pierced, and I went down a water slide, and it had metal piercing.
Oh, no.
You're both looking at me like, ugh, tongue pierced.
Who
Yeah,
are
and
you?
I know. What a
Take
guy.
out your piercings.
Yeah, I don't have any anymore. Apart from my massive penis piercing. But,
Ah.
and yeah, I went down a water slide and fucking clomped my teeth together and chipped it. I had it.
At the back.
Nah, it's quite, the
Just
chips seems way smaller now because I guess my teeth are probably
my God.
corroding. But yeah, that was horrible. The whole day I was like, I could feel it was different. And I was like, oh no.
For the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I Marx messaged me this morning and was very excited. He was like, it's like, I'm so excited to be day drinking, and then went, have you heard the bull story? And I was like, no. I didn't know if you meant like a field bull or like a testicle. You mean testicle, right?
Yep.
I don't think I've heard this.
I've heard it.
Well, I started telling it on the Breach tour, and Chris was obsessed with me telling it in front of him, but to a new person.
He just wanted to see reactions.
Because, I realised how great it was when he started making me tell people.
I am listening. I'm just checking the webcam to check on Darwin for a second. So
What's he doing?
I don't know yet. I haven't got.
Yeah, have you seen the
got
webcam before?
I've seen it a few times.
Oh,
He's in bed. He's fine. He's chilling. He's awake though. He's probably pissed. The problem is we'd love to have Darwin up here in the office, but he makes too much noise.
Yeah.
So anyway, carry on. Testicles.
Yeah, prepare yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
this
full
one.
focus now.
So, here we go. I'm going to start. Right. So I was 14, and I used to.
Have you started parkour yet?
Yeah, around that time I
Okay.
was starting.
why
And
that's
it's not to do with parkour.
No. Okay.
cool.
I used to fix bikes, like bicycles, up and make new ones, like find tyres and wheels from other ones and put them on the same bike, right?
I'm already cringing.
And I put together this bike, and I was really excited, so excited, in fact, that I forgot to put something on.
No.
I started running down the street. You know when you're a kid and you run by the side of your bike and you're holding onto the handlebars and you run down and you jump onto your bike. I had forgot to put the seat back onto the bike, and there was that sharp metal rim
Yeah.
of the bike, and I land straight on that, on my balls. I bounced straight off of my balls, off the bikes, tumbling along the ground, jumping around like a monkey because it hurt so much.
Yeah.
And then
Understandable.
I was just lying there, and I was like, oh God, I'm freaking out, I'm hyperventilating.
Are you like close to your house?
No. My friend's with me, and he's like, what have you done? What have you done? And I put my hand down my trousers to see, like, because I was like, first, is there any blood?
Yeah.
To check that. And I take my hand out, and it's covered in blood. Alright. And then I looked down, I go to look down, and I see that it's just all like mushed up down there, like just like blood, and it's cut, and And I told my friend, I scream over to my friend, I'm like, you need to come over and look at this. And then
Look at my balls.
as I pulled my trousers down, like, in front of him, like, pulled the front out, like, not down, and pulled my balls out to show him, my testicle fell out of its ball sack, out of this big cut in my ball sack, into my palm of my hand. And it's on a little bit of, like, this, like, string that connects, obviously, it's, like, the cord to your balls. And it's obviously instantly, I just popped it back in, like, done the, like, whoop, pushed it back into my balls and just held it there really hard. And my friend, before me, starts crying.
Just for those listening, my head is literally just on the desk in fucking... just no.
I also obviously start crying, and we're just there crying together, not realising what do we do next. And
Can we just go back to the ball? What's it look like? What colour is it?
it's purple.
Yeah.
It looks like kind of a big bean.
Is it more sensitive? Is it smooth?
No, I was just so in
obviously
shock
it's smooth,
that
but like, is it like...
it's kind of smoothish. It was covered in blood, so it's like a bean in sauce.
I'm Googling this. I just want to see what exposed testicles look like.
I can't believe it went that far.
Exposed...
It's not over yet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, carry on. I need to just
Wait.
create the imagery alongside this.
Don't carry on. Let me just.
No.
Let me see it. Let me have some reminiscing.
Well, I'm kind of like... Are we looking at kind of this... Oh, that's in a dog.
So
No,
yeah, it's kind of like that, but not.
But like... Oh, yeah, what, like this kind of thing. Like... I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but...
Oh.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I would imagine them to look.
Yeah. And so we're just like, I'm sat on the floor, by the way, and he's sat on the floor as well because he's collapsed and crying about it. And I'm 14 and I don't want to go to the hospital and people be looking at my dick and balls. And just had that thought. And my friend was like, we need to call an ambulance. And I was like, no. I don't want that. I don't want to be like legs open wide, them just like dealing with me down there.
Yeah.
And he was like, but what are we going to do then? And so what we had is a plan that we got him to go to every door in the neighbourhood that he could see and knock and ask for plasters. And he knocked at every single door he could find. And the last one that finally had something was just a pack of Barbie plasters.
You guys are fucking dumb. Jesus Christ. I would be fucking in the ambulance.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He comes back with the Barbie plasters. We got some. And so we like basically like meshed them up like
Please
a big...
tell me he was like getting his hands in there, like...
No.
Sort of like holding your balls together while you apply a Barbie plaster. Is this in the middle of the street?
Yeah. He meshed them up so they're all like, turns one plaster into a big plaster, and then I just grabbed it in my hand and just like gripped it around the whole of my ball.
So it
just like...
shut.
Yeah, covered the whole ball. And I held it there for like a few hours just so it just like soaked in with the blood and just got stuck there. And for a whole week, I just went home on the bus and I didn't go to school. I didn't leave. I didn't move from one place. I just said to my parents don't know this story, by the way. I said to my parents that I was ill and I was just feeling really, really sick. And I just didn't move. And then in a week, I could just stand up and go to school. It was fine. And I got a scar on my balls like a moon.
What? Surely not.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh my God. How did that close, that gap?
I have no idea, and I don't know how I didn't get infected. Like, if my balls got infected, that's
bad.
Yeah. My balls were really like sensitive, and I had goosebumps for the next week after.
On your balls?
Like my whole balls. Like my hairs were always sticking out. It was like an afro balls.
Oh my God. Fuck.
I kind of want to see the scar. I mean, I don't, but like...
I could show you. One, it would be a bit weird.
Yeah, it would be weird.
And two...
slap them out on the table.
It's hardly there anymore, the scar. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's very faint,
So
and
was
it's
it like-
small because I've grown.
was it like just big enough for that? It wasn't like your whole ball sack was like split in two. It was like just big enough.
No,
for the
it
balls
was
to pop
just
out.
enough that the ball like
Popped out.
and then popped back in like a...
So it was an incision.
Yeah.
Like that's the ball,
Yeah.
but in big form, right? No,
Yeah.
the bag.
The bag.
It's just like a little and it could squeeze out. Like,
Because obviously
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah,
malleable
yeah.
piece of flesh.
And it was
And then you
like
put
the
it
cut
back
was like this big and then like round though.
I kind of want to
So like
oh my god.
I was about to say I kind of want to do it. I don't want to do it. I can imagine just being able to get a scalpel and just slice it and just pop the ball out.
And then
Yeah.
just do and now you can just get loads of Barbie plasters.
Fuck
yeah,
that.
Barbie blast. That's one.
Jesus Christ, I would have been in the hospital getting stitches and shit.
Immediately, just
Yeah.
in tears, calling my parents, balls everywhere, not caring, like, fix me now.
Imagine if your ball just fell out and then you just went.
When you're the
Oh,
kid,
no.
and
Yeah.
the kid is born with, like, a fucking, I don't know, an extra arm, it's because, like, a little bit of dust worked its way into your balls and somehow it's, like, just mixed with your
Yeah.
genetics.
Oh.
Well, they're going to be able to do more Kongs. So
Jesus Christ. Alright, we've still got this photo of a testicle on my phone. Let me close that.
No,
so that-
worse than a testicle. So
Somebody-
never type it. What did you type in?
I typed in exposed testicle.
Yeah, never type that into
Exposed.
Google.
No.
That's the worst thing.
It's not what you need to see.
I'm
in your
not
life.
surprised that your friend cried in front of you.
It is weird when you're on the other side of a thing and like you almost feel like you're freaking out more than them, and you're like, I shouldn't be like this, but fuck this.
No.
Like,
yeah.
But for you to see your friend cry at looking at that, probably the worst feeling ever. You like, that's like when you hit your head and someone just goes, oh,
Yeah.
it's so bad,
and it makes you
Yeah.
feel
And you-
so much worse.
I was losing.
I hate
my
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. If somebody like even if somebody just questions, like, I've had people go, "Oh, you're looking a bit pale today," and I'm like, "Well, the fuck? Why am I pale? What's wrong?" Like immediately, like, whoa.
That's why I don't like at parkour jams when there's like a little bail or someone falls over. Everyone goes, whoa!
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything
yeah.
stops. It's like, just get on with your training.
Well, it's like a little kid. If a little kid falls over and the parent makes a fuss over them, the kid will make more of a scene. Whereas if the parent can assess like quickly, like, okay, the kid's fine, then they're like,
Yeah.
and if you say to a kid, "You're fine," they go, "Oh, I'm fine."
That happens all the time when
Yeah.
I'm teaching.
Same.
Like what I've been doing sometimes is you just don't react for the
Yeah.
first few seconds. You don't
Let
even,
them assess it.
You wait for them to get up to look at you and do that thing where they look at you to see if like
Yeah.
you're going to react, and you just look around. You're like, or you just literally just look at them and just don't do anything.
Yeah.
And they get the point that like, oh, that's normal,
Yeah.
and then they just go off.
You're like, "You're right," and they're like, "Yeah."
And
cool, done.
obviously sometimes you get them where they still look at you, you do nothing, and then they're still waiting. They're like frozen.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you
Arms
need
fucking
to,
popping out, bones everywhere.
I just tell them, I'm like, you need to understand everyone here is going to fall over.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of the thing.
a lot of the
Yeah.
time it's embarrassment as well, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's the big thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ. You got any other fucking horrible stories?
I mean, if you could remind me of some, I've got a couple.
Oh God, I don't know. Well, how can I remind you of stories that I don't know?
Tell me one of yours.
I'll show you mine.
Is that the worst, like, sort of horror story you've got, like, in terms of injury?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I burnt my bum once and all the skin fell off of it.
Oh my
Not
God.
like all the skin, but like I put. Yeah.
How did you burn your bum?
We used to have an Arga, which is like an old-fashioned oil.
An
cooker.
Arga?
Yeah, you know what an Arga.
No, I did.
have an Arga.
I only learnt what an Arga was like the other day.
They're like an old-fashioned oil. They're oil cookers or gas, but
Only
they
rich
run.
kids have one of those.
Yeah, probably. I used to sit on it. I had a towel on top because you could sit on them and they're really warm. Not with the hob open. They have a hob, like they have a lid that closes over the hob because they run. You use them to heat your house. And I was sitting on that on a towel, and my sister, I was wearing like pajama bottoms, no pants when I was like a little kid. My sister pulled the towel, I pulled my pajama bottoms down, so I like end up sitting on the cover, and I jumped off, and like you could put your hand on it and you'd be like, oh, that's warm, but it wasn't like. But I guess your bum skin is kind of sensitive.
And all the weight.
I jumped off and I put
bum
my
skin.
hand on my arse and I pulled my hand away and there was just like my skin was like all over my hand.
Oh,
no.
My dad picked me up and just threw me into the sink and like ran the water on the sink, and I basically had to wear like not an adult nappy, but I think I was like 8 maybe. I had to wear like a nappy type thing for like 2 weeks, and then the school nurse had to like rub cream into my bum.
That's
like,
very similar. I got a story very similar.
what, wearing nappies?
Like, not a nappy, but like, I know what you're talking about.
Like kind
This
of
happened
a
to
big
me.
padding all over your ass.
Yeah. I was at like some holiday with my parents, and I was 7. My brother was 5, I think, and I thought it was a good idea to go downstairs and make tea before my parents even woke up. And my brother came with me, and he boiled the kettle. We're trying to make tea, and he goes to pour the kettle and put it in the cup, and the cup falls over, and goes all over me,
Fuck.
like all over my front, my chest, my stomach, and at first it was super tingly. Like I was like, oh, it's fine, it feels fine. And this guy just sprinted over out of his room at this like holiday place, and just basically stripped me down. Like, and at that time I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then like I understood now, he basically saved my skin. He stripped me down, took me into his place and threw me in the bath and just put the shower on completely cold. And like loads of people came as well, and they still had to go to hospital, and I had this, like you said, nappy with cream inside it.
Yeah, to keep the skin.
Like all over my front for ages.
Wow. Kids are dumb.
Could have like scarred the skin.
Yeah,
you know, when people burn themselves. And
you can, if you can
could have been a massive scar on my whole.
You can cool
front.
it quickly. You can do quite a lot in terms of like helping the thing.
Jeez.
I remember like I'd been a little kid and running into the kitchen, and my sister and my parents had like just finished making some like brownies or something, and I just grabbed the hot tin in both my hands.
Oh my God.
I was like, yeah, and just grabbed it off the side and was like, fuck.
Like, was it as well?
But I feel like you have to learn that way, don't you? Like,
Yeah, I've done something like that as well.
Yeah.
I was riding a go-kart when I was in Devon, like my uncle
You
made.
touch the fucking exhaust.
I drove the go-kart really far out into like I don't know what you call it, the Devon something.
Oh, like the moor.
The moors, yeah. And I got out because it stopped going. It just stopped working, and then I went to put my hand on it and do the thing where you pull it, and that hand burnt. And I was like, "What's going on?" I used the other hand, and so but I'm just running around with both hands, like, fuck my hands.
Jesus.
Was it you as well who used to drop like knives from the top of
Awful. Yeah. No, it wasn't knives. It was darts.
darts? And then
Why would you do that?
tell
we had a
Marks that is
dartboard.
the funniest thing.
In my old house, we had like a long corridor with a dartboard at one end, and we used to play darts. But it was next to the stairs, and the stairs were like the kind of they go around in not a spiral, but like they went down, turned a corner, went down again, turned a corner,
Yeah.
like that, like bum bum. And so you could. I used to just when I was into parkour, I'd just take the height drop to the floor, like I turnbow and just take the height drop. But occasionally, just fucking around, you'd get a dart and you just drop it vertically, and we had a wood floor, and it would stick into the floor at the bottom.
Oh my God.
And I had a dog called Phoebe, fucking
No.
rest her soul. No, I didn't kill her. And I did this probably a few times. You don't really get much satisfaction after you drop the dart once, so you just do it occasionally. And one time I dropped the dart, and as the fucking Phoebe walked underneath, and she looked up, and it was like the whole. I don't think I've ever had more of a slow motion moment in my life. Like I dropped the dart as she walked under, and she looked up like that, and it fucking came down and literally like skimmed her head and then stuck into the floor next to her, like.
Oh
like that,
my
like,
God.
And I was like. I don't know if it would have killed her, but like it was a story drop of a dart onto it would have been the top of her head or her eye, and it fucking skimmed.
Oh.
It's one of the worst things I've ever done, I reckon.
Oh dear.
In terms of like the implication of what could have happened.
Imagine that. That would
That's
have been so bad.
Traumatizing.
I need to get
can
my
imagine-
second It's Only Sunny reference in by saying because of the implication.
Because of the implication. I swear that would have been one of those moments, you know, when you like jump, you know. Like,
Oh
when you,
yeah. It's like
tense up and jump.
yeah.
Little bit of poo came out.
Just a little bit
of poo,
Little bit of brown.
So how many podcasts have you listened to of ours?
Like 3.
Oh, do you know about Music Minute? Have you ever made it to the end? Oh, he's unprepared.
Music Minute.
He's a victim.
Oh no, Marks.
I've watched 1 to the end.
Watched?
No.
Watched one?
I listened.
Sorry, I always say
1,
what.
2 endings.
So you know about Music Minute?
I've heard of the phrase. I don't know what you're talking about.
Music Minute is where we used to do it every episode. Now we typically only do it with guests. Where
Sing a song.
No, you have 60 seconds.
Oh no!
You have to talk consistently about a single artist or band.
I don't like music.
You don't have to do it. We're proposing the question.
Okay.
Typically, you speak for 60 seconds about an artist or band that you've either you're into at the moment or you've recently discovered and you want to tell people about. You don't have to do it if you don't want.
I'm not really a music person.
You used to like Brockhampton, didn't you?
Oh, Brockhampton are good, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, do you want to speak for a minute on them, or you don't have to? Don't worry.
I'm okay. I'm not great at.
You're not a huge music person, are you?
No, I just.
Well, when we were in Lease, I remember you having the strongest 10 songs.
your 10 was good.
Yeah, but that's just because I do it like the thing with the driven thing. I'll just go 100%. It's not about me. It's about you guys. Like a lot of the time with music for me, it's actually more of a social thing than me listening to it. I hardly ever listen to music on my own.
Really?
Very rarely.
So if you put music on in a car, you're like, what's going to please the crowd?
Yeah, 100%.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm like, fuck you guys, I'm listening to this. Like, you know that. Like,
Yeah,
you
like-
have to deal with me.
And I get like worked up if I'm ever the person putting music on like the aux, I'm literally waiting until the second it's going to end to knowing what the next song's going to be and if everyone in the car is going to like it.
Yeah.
I do find it straight because if
I actually find it so stressful putting on music. I just don't, because I'm like, I don't think anyone's going to like what I'm listening to. So, and I don't, you're just like, fuck it, I'll listen to what I want to listen to.
But
I want to do that, but I'm like, I prefer someone else to just put music on so I don't have the stress of...
Yeah.
Like, because is it still kind of stressful for you? You're kind of like, the whole song, you're like this, you're like, people liking it? Like,
and then people talk over the good
no.
somebody talks over the good bit and you're like, what are you doing? Like,
I remember when we were in America and I started listening to Brockhampton and I was trying to show you guys how good they were. And you were like, it's okay.
and
it's alright.
it doesn't connect with us on
Yeah,
the same
and
level.
I was like, that was maybe an experience for me where I was playing what I really liked, and I was
none of
like,
us were
why does no one understand this?
Yeah.
Like,
But
why
for
do
me-
you not get it?
I have these two modes where if I'm like, it's mainly on like tours. If I'm driving fucking far, like 500 miles in one day or something, I'm like, fuck you. You're sitting here playing Minecraft or whatever. I'm doing the drive. I'm putting on whatever I want, and then it will be potentially very heavy. If it's like that thing of like, oh, let's put on some music, Giles, you get the aux, then I'm like, like.
But also, if there's a song that you kind of like and you think other people will like it,
And then they ruin
as soon
it.
as soon as conversation happens, it's not that I don't like it happening. I can't concentrate on anything because I'm like listening to the music at the
Oh.
same time
Yeah,
as being
yeah.
like, there's too much going on.
I've
I broke the
snapped.
seal.
He's broken the seal. I've snapped at people occasionally for like, I'll put on a song.
Oh, I've been with you when that's happened
I
because I
snapped
get a
at
bit annoyed. Too.
Sarah. I put on she put on a song that I really liked and she hadn't heard it before. And I was like, oh, this is this. And it built up to this fucking incredible crescendo. And then just as it's like, and it's about to be like, da-da-da. And then they talk over the top of it. And I'm like, and I literally, no, she turned it down. That was it. She literally turned the audio down to talk about something. And I was like, what are you doing? I was like, were you not, like, we've sat in silence for 3.5 minutes. Were you not paying attention?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I mean, I guess Marx is a proven point. Like, George is the same. Some people don't get into music as much as others, I think.
Music is like one of my biggest things in my life, I think.
It's like
It really
internal,
is,
like,
yeah.
you're like, this is the moment!
Wait, so Marx, have you not done a Music on My Mind?
No.
Of course he hasn't.
No, I haven't. No.
The most vacant of the group chat.
You know what you should do? You should do. You should, for one of your phases, for 1 month, just really get into music.
You should start, have you
Put
ever
your
made
mind
music?
to it. Oh, shit.
I went into a phase where I was like, maybe I could make a song with just GarageBand on my phone. But
Wow.
that was one of the fails.
Really?
Yeah.
But maybe the phone's too limiting.
Maybe. I don't think I have that sort of...
He says
like,
tapping out, or is that you? Someone's tapping out a little beat. Oh, that was cute.
Yeah, I know, like, I think I just copied what I thought was going to sound good and I wasn't.
But that's
creating-
creativity, because you have
Yeah.
to take a bit and then you copy it with something else and you mix it. It's like a mixing pot.
Yeah,
I
it just
feel
wasn't really
like...
for me, and because I don't enjoy music on my own, I don't know. It's just not
True, yeah. I don't know. It just totally wouldn't surprise me if, like, in 6 months' time, you were like, "Oh yeah, here's a song I wrote," and it was just fucking technical, like,
Yeah.
no,
some
not
new
that.
genre of like electronic dubstep or something. Like,
Well, I feel like I could create some new genre, but it depends on anyone who like it.
yeah. But does it matter?
Oh,
That's
Yes,
the
it does.
question.
Yes.
it does.
it always matters.
That gratitude.
Everything's about just being liked.
I just want likes on my Instagram. Something we haven't touched on actually. There's a couple of other things we need to do before we wrap up, but I forgot to touch on, and it kind of comes back to your like wavering parkour mindset. Is you've always been fairly vocal on like, don't make parkour your number one and only goal in life, and it's something we talk about a bit on this podcast of like always having a backup plan and like having things. But like, I mean, that it's for you. You're not just trying to be an athlete, and I wouldn't say you.
No.
It's. I mean, you're not. You are an athlete in terms of your physical achievements mean you're athletic, but you're not working as an athlete. You're working as a coach.
Yeah, I think I just at a point saw that there's so many other things that people are super passionate about, and it would be crazy for me to put all of what I've got and all my life and all my time into one thing. And I understand people that do, because that just makes them happy, keeps them happy. That's their thing. But I really want to see what else there is. Like, I don't want to get to 30 training parkour all the time and then be like, I wonder if I could have been a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could have done this. And maybe I just want to kind of like dip my fingers in other things and be pulled into other areas in life, other interests. Just see what else I can do. Like,
do you feel like there is something out there that like might consume you entirely? Like, you might dip your fingers into music and then like for the rest of your... Do you think you could get stuck in one thing forever?
I think parkour is the main thing.
It's like
of
the
my
foundation,
life.
isn't it?
And it will always be.
Because I think
like,
it gives you... It's not a hobby. It's a fucking... you get the community. You get
it's a way of life for most of us. Like, there's so much ingrained in it. Like, I wouldn't always be someone who does parkour or someone who trained parkour, and that, like, I just can't imagine myself like just randomly jumping over to something, let's say like a filmmaker, and that being all I do, that's all I think about, and that be like the replacement for parkour. Like, that doesn't work in my head. Like, it'll always be like parkour's the trunk of the tree, and everything just goes from there.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, we've had like multiple podcasts on kind of that sort of theory of parkour being the trunk, and then, you know, photography, video like making, like so many different things that you can
for sure
branch off.
Yeah, the community's so strong that I saw at Chase Tag, like, it made me remember that it's like a family more than just a community.
For sure.
And it's crazy, like, I stay in my little like den and don't talk to much people for a while, and then I literally go out to Chase Tag and I know everyone there, everyone knows me, and it's like we can connect on a level everyone understands the same way, and it's actually so good. It's crazy. Like,
it's super sick. Nice. All right, well that's on a nice positive note. We should round that up.
I need another drink.
Anything you want to... Any final words you want to say to your beloved fans?
Will Fraser-Coombe. I love you, Will Fraser-Coombe.
One
best
shout out
forever.
Yeah. Anything you're working on that we can expect from you, apart from getting back on it and filming for Soul Destroyer and murdering it?
I want to start a teaching company. And not just parkour, but a teaching company for all different types of arts.
Cool.
Like
around
arts
London.
Or like movement based?
Movement stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Dancing, parkour, gymnastics, like just a collaboration of movement. People who are really good, like know movement. So like all the like parkour athletes, gymnasts, and dancers.
So if you're listening, reach out to Marx. Will you send Marx your CV?
It's early days, but yeah, like I said, I want to do it on a way of treating people
This
and
will be your
the
high
people
chair.
the people that work for me, treating them in the way they deserve, and climbing the ladder together.
Yeah.
Not just like pointing fingers and making people do stuff. And
yeah. Sick.
There you go.
Wow.
It was absolutely lovely.
It was lovely.
Oh yes,
This is sick.
Thank you very much.
We need to get better at finishing off our podcast. We were discussing this yesterday. So, Prodcast 10 will get you 10% off the Motus Project store. Prodcast 10.
The number 10, not in letters.
You got any discount codes that you want to throw out there?
I was thinking of just my programs, because the sales dropped, to just make them free.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout.
So,
although
but
once you make it free for once, then you can't go back on it.
I know.
Risky.
But from now on, both programs are free. Once I update it, maybe it should be done by the time you listen to this. Are free, but obviously other things I'm going to work towards. And
yeah, sick, amazing. And to listeners, if you've enjoyed this, feel free to check out other episodes. This is number 38, so there's a wealth of knowledge to be discovered.
So many different.
Oh my
guests.
goodness!
Subscribe, share on. If you share on Instagram, that's really helpful, because I think that's the place to share things now.
Yeah, and we can share it through there.
Yeah, and if you rate on iTunes, tag us, all that bullshit. Fucking street parrots for life. Actually, some guy emailed 2 photos of some parrots that he took So I haven't actually responded to your email, I realise, but thank you very much, because we got those. I might just not respond and he can find out.
You can find out through this.
If he
They were
makes
good
it
photos.
to the very
I loved
end.
it.
They were sick double exposure photos of some parrots.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you very much. And yeah.
See you next time.
Love you very much. Bye.
Pancakes.
Pancakes.